Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com. Here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, January 7th through Sunday, January 13th, 2019. For this week's weekly reading, we'll be using the Power Angel Tarot deck by Radley Valentine for the main message for everyone. And your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, will be coming from the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins deck. So just a reminder that the monthly angel card reading for the month of January, this first month of the new year 2019, is up on my YouTube channel, as well as a new Soul Reflections video, which talks about some of the energies that we have to look forward to for 2019. And let's go ahead and get to this weekly reading. Okay, so the first stone of choice for this week is this beautiful Amazonite. Now, Amazonite is a stone that helps to soothe the spirit and calm the soul. It's that beautiful turquoise blue color. Of course, it relates to the throat chakra of speaking your truth. It's also a stone of harmony and balance, courage and truth, and it helps you to discover your truth, your self-truth, and helps you to move beyond the fear of judgment from others according to you standing in your truth. All right, the next stone of choice is this beautiful fire opal. Let me see if I can get a handle on it there. This beautiful fire opal, and it has a nice kind of reflective quality in the light, but unfortunately the light inside the home here is not the greatest at the moment. But this beautiful fire opal, this one has like gold and orange and a little tinge of red in it, and that's why they call it the fire opal, because it has the colors of fire in it. This stone is a stone of loyalty and trust. It's considered a stone of magical powers. It helps with self-confidence, and it helps to attract money and wealth and abundance. It also helps to enhance your intuition and assist you to trust your inner instincts. So again, this is fire opal. Well, you can almost see it a little bit better when I hold it back. All right, and then the last stone of choice is ocean jasper. This one, now ocean jasper comes in all different kinds of colors. This one actually has a beautiful deep dark, almost turquoise blue color here in the center. It's got a reddish kind of brown, like an earthy reddish color here at the bottom. And then it's got some various almost off green and a little bit of white at the top. But again, the ocean jasper comes in different types of colors, and that is good for joy and expansion. It's also a stone of relaxation, and it's very soothing. It's considered to bring you in the spirit of peace. It's about gentle power. It helps you to cultivate patience in your life as you're moving towards your goals, and it also helps you to cope with change or changes that are occurring in your life. So again, your stones of choice are the Amazonite, the fire opal, or the ocean jasper. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this week. Of course, last week we had a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Capricorn. Actually, right now we have 4 planets in Capricorn. Mercury's in Capricorn, the Sun is in Capricorn, Saturn and Pluto all in Capricorn. But again, that solar eclipse happened last week, towards the end of last week, at 15 degrees of Capricorn. So Saturn was close to that eclipse, Pluto was close to that eclipse. Of course, the eclipse intensifies the energies, and new moons are about new beginnings. So there was a lot of strong shifts and energies happening. Now, as we move into this week, on Monday the 7th, Venus, which rules love and relationships, as well as our values, as well as money and finances, is moving out of Scorpio and into the sign of Sagittarius. Now, just to kind of reiterate, Venus and Scorpio kind of had that deep, kind of passionate, both in love and in business kind of energy to it. And Scorpio also, with Venus there, maybe brought up some shadow issues within love, relationships, money, and finances. This is so that we were to take back our power or own our power regarding certain situations and events in our lives. Now that Venus is moving into Sagittarius, the energy feels a lot lighter, it's a lot freer, which is a key word of Sagittarius, freedom. So Venus in relationships and Venus within her financial situations is going to look for that experience of freedom. Now Sagittarius is also about inspiration and optimism and good luck and expansion, seeing the big picture, expanding your energies. Venus is considered a benefic planet, which means it's a beneficial energy. It by itself can bring very fortunate happenings if it touches something in your chart or if it connects with another planet, as it will here, not this week, but I think going into next week, Venus is going to be approaching Jupiter. It might be the week after that, I don't recall, but very soon, because Venus has gone into Sagittarius, Jupiter, the planet of abundance and prosperity and considered the great benefic, is already in Sagittarius. So just the fact that Venus is now in the same sign as Jupiter, there's going to be a lot of potential for positive things to start to occur. So watch for that. On Tuesday the 8th, Mercury, which is in Capricorn, as I mentioned, and Mercury is the messenger planet dealing with our thoughts and our communications and messages and our ideas. It's in a challenging aspect to Mars, which as of December 31st, the last day of 2018, it went into the sign of Aries. Now I like Mars in Aries because Mars is a fiery planet. Aries is a fire sign. Mars actually rules the sign of Aries, and so it's very at home here, and Mars likes to push forward, make things happen, take action, and just things start to really cruise. And so with Mars and Aries by itself, that's a really positive thing. Now with Mercury challenging Mars on Tuesday, and of course we're going to feel this on Monday as it approaches that connection, there could be challenging communications with others, because again it's a challenging connection between Mercury and Mars. So this can also be not only communications with others but also our own thoughts. We might be a little frustrated the first couple days of the week. We might be doing some negative self-talk or trying to talk ourselves out of something. So be aware that that kind of energy is there. There's, Mars likes to move fast, and Mercury again comes in with communications that we might have with other people. And it doesn't have to be a negative. This could just be differences of opinion that's occurring when you're talking to someone or talking to a group or networking with people. There could be differences of, your thoughts, your ideas, and your opinions with other people. But also know that that is a challenging connection, and people might have a tendency to want to be a little bit more assertive and perhaps even a little bit more argumentative. Now on Friday the 11th, the Sun, also in Capricorn, is connecting with Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, power, transformation, regeneration. And so this is going to be a time to own our power. This is going to be a time to either take back our power, or we're feeling especially empowered. We're moving into our power, and especially in the realm of business, because Capricorn is all about our goals, our career, our business, who we are out in the world, how people see us as far as what we do out in the world. So there could be power plays with other people with the Sun connecting with Pluto. But again, those power plays are there so that we're standing in very securely our own sense of power. And then as we move ahead to Sunday the 13th, Mercury is now connecting to Saturn. Again, both of these planets are in Capricorn. So, Mercury with Saturn can be very focused, which is the positive here. Saturn sometimes, gets a little bit of a bad rap. Saturn, we feel sometimes, is about restrictions and limitations. And of course, with Mercury ruling our thoughts and our communications, there could be some restrictive or limiting thoughts or communications with others, for sure. But Saturn likes to focus, Saturn likes to manifest, Saturn likes to create structure and form, and this can be really good if we're trying to accomplish something. So whether you're trying to accomplish a project or move on the next step towards a goal, especially a business-related kind of goal, this is going to help you to kind of really you know, put your nose to the grindstone, so to speak, and really kind of, you know, be in a space of working and making things happen, you know, on a material level, not money level, but on a level of manifesting things, getting things done, you know, organizing, working, you know, and taking care of business, so to speak. Also on Sunday the 13th, Jupiter, which we mentioned here just a bit ago, that Jupiter is considered the great benefic and Venus was the lesser benefic, both beneficial energies to have going through your chart and touching certain planets in your chart if they're doing that. But Jupiter in Sagittarius is in a challenging aspect on Sunday with Neptune. Now this is the first square aspect between Jupiter and Neptune that happens in the year 2019 because Neptune is in Pisces, and Pisces is a sign of the zodiac that challenges Sagittarius, where Jupiter is. Now Jupiter, a little bit later in the year, it's going to go retrograde. So it's going to, you know, go back and forth, and then when it turns direct, again over Neptune for a third time. So during the course of this year, we have this challenge between these two. Now, with that being said, I think according to what our belief systems are, we can look at things from a different perspective. We can put out our focused intent. We can visualize the most positive of what it is that we want to happen and make this a magical energy. Because to me, Neptune, the spiritual planet in the sign of Pisces, can be very magical. But you have to have trust and faith, and you have to surrender to the divine plan with Neptune and Pisces. You know, Neptune and Pisces is like going with the flow and being in the boat without any oars and just kind of letting the river of life take you, you know, down twists and turns wherever it needs to according to the divine plan. And sometimes that's a little scary for people. And sometimes it's hard for us to trust and have faith when we can't see things up ahead clearly, which is another Neptune quality, is not being able to see things very clearly. It's very kind of not grounded, or it's unfocused. But yet, again, it's very spiritually guided. Now Jupiter, on the other hand, Jupiter likes to expand energies. It's the planet of expansion. So you can see with some of this confusion or unclarity of Neptune, Jupiter can expand those energies, and then we can get into a place of fear, and then we can get into a place of judgment, either towards ourselves or with other people. And that could definitely happen with the Jupiter and Neptune square, both this week and throughout the year, where we start judging one another, whether it's another group or another person in our lives, you know, having very strong opinions and differences of opinion that kind of clash with other people's values or belief systems. Now, that being said, let's talk about the positive with this, because again, Neptune in Pisces is that magical spiritual energy. Jupiter is the planet of good luck and abundance and prosperity and growth and expansion. Now, Jupiter doesn't care what it's going to expand, so it can expand negative, which is about the judgments and opinions, or it can expand the positive, joy, abundance, prosperity, feeling good, feeling inspired. So let's use these Jupiter-Neptune squares and the one that occurs this week in the most positive and beneficial way, by believing in ourselves, by believing that the universe is guiding us, by believing that we can create and manifest what it is that we desire, our dreams, abundance, prosperity, blessings. Okay, so that's a little bit about what's occurring this week. Let's go ahead and take a look at the cards for this week before we get to your special message card. So the first card, the first card is the Six of Gabriel, and this is like the Six of Fire in the traditional tarot deck. This is a really very positive card. Fire energy, and as I said, on Monday, Venus is going into fire sign Sagittarius, and Venus can bring positive, good things our way. Now, it's not, Venus isn't connecting to anything per se this week. It's not connecting quite yet to Jupiter, but it's now in the same sign as Jupiter, so things are starting to happen. And just the fact that Venus is moving into this positive and optimistic sign, there could definitely be some sort of positive occurrence. Now, it says, congratulations, you've done a wonderful job. Time to move to the next project, awards, scholarships, or promotions. So again, I want to say look for something good to happen. Now, Venus, again, does rule money, finances, our resources. And our resources is beyond, money. We have other things that are resources in our lives, like support from other people and things of that nature. Our possessions are a sort of resource that we have. So there can definitely be something that's happening here, something that's given to us, something that's kind of a surprise positive occurrence at the beginning of the week. The number 6 is about balance, as above, so below. And the Archangel Gabriel is about messages. So I want to say that there could be something good as far as an expected, phone call, email, message that kind of comes in from another person, maybe from spirit, from your angels and guides. But as it says on the bottom, this could be about a promotion. This could be about some sort of award. This could be about some sort of blessing that's communicated to you or that is coming your way. If it's not, manifested right away, that it's on its way. Okay, so let's take a look at the next card here, and you can see that 2 cards came out here in the middle. So the first of those 2 cards is the Page of Michael. This is the Page of Swords in the traditional tarot. The sword suit is the suit of the mind, which I'm not surprised because we have Mercury in a couple of aspects this week. Mercury is the planet of the mind and communication. And the Page of Michael says truthful, perceptive, analytical, and blunt. And at the bottom it says an exciting new challenge. You have what it takes to succeed. Review contracts or documents very thoroughly. Now, you can see in the Page of Michael that there's kind of a cloudy sky back here. Part of the sky is kind of dark, it's a little cloudy. Sometimes our mind plays tricks on us when we deal with the suit of swords, when we deal with our ego mind. Sometimes we have doubts, we have fears, we have anxieties about things. And sometimes we perceive something as a challenge when it doesn't really need to be as challenging as we think it is, or we're making too much of it, or we're not trusting and having faith enough. So I feel like this is some sort of communication or information that comes in. Again, whether it comes from our own ego mind or whether it comes in from some other person, that we might be, at least from the get-go, a little bit fearful about it, or we're feeling a little bit challenged about it. And what I'm feeling here is because we have such a positive card to begin with, and not that this is a negative card, but it definitely can bring in some challenging thoughts and communications. I feel like there's a mix of energies going on here. We did just have a new moon solar eclipse, and that new moon solar eclipse, and then again followed by the lunar eclipse later in the month, is all about endings and new beginnings. And so I feel like there could be both of these happening right now, to where something is ending, being released, being let go, something's being changed or redirected in your life, and it's bringing up maybe some fearful thoughts or maybe even some challenging communications with other people, but at the same time there's good things that are happening too. So we have to focus again on the positive. We have to focus on seeing things from the brightest perspective possible. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next card. Maybe it'll give us further information about that Page of Michael. Wonderful. The 6 of Michael. Now this is another swords card, but out of all the swords cards, this is definitely one of the most positive. This one and maybe the Ace of Michael are the 2 very positive swords cards or Michael cards that we have. Again, we have the number 6 twice here. So, the number 6 in numerology, it's about home and family matters. So there definitely could be something going on in the home or family front. But also that number 6 is like the 6-pointed Star of David, upward pointing triangle and a downward pointing triangle that's interconnected. So that it, again, is that idea of as things are above, so they are below, meaning on this earth plane. As they are above in the spirit realm, or what we can perceive or see with our spiritual eyes, so we can manifest that down and ground it into physical form on the earth. Now, the message here says, it's the light at the end of the tunnel. Breathe a sigh of relief and make new plans, relocation or travel. Okay, so the 6 of Gabriel, she's on a horse kind of moving forward. And again, it's like, congratulations, you're moving forward, you're moving up. And now we have the 6 of Michael, which also could be potential movement, travel, or relocation. So I feel like some of you might be traveling for business purposes. Others of you might actually, with the eclipses here, be in a space of thinking about moving where you live. Maybe it's within the town that you're in. Maybe it's across the country or across the world. But there's definitely movement that's happening here. And at first it starts on the mental level. It starts with a thought. It starts with an idea. And again, this is a very positive card. So to follow that up from the Page of Michael, whatever possible challenge there is with the Page of Michael, with our thoughts and communications, this is telling me that it's going to work itself out. It's going to be a positive outcome, because the Six of Michael here is a very positive card. You know, just like it says, there's light at the end of the tunnel. So you're coming out of the darkness and you're moving into the light here. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the last card. The last card, wow, Major Arcana, number 1, the Magician. And this is ruled by Archangel Raziel, who to me is like Merlin the Magician in the Celtic lore. And, you know, he deals with divine magic, he deals with alchemy, he deals with changing energies from one thing to another, which is what alchemy is all about. Now, the message at the bottom says, you can manifest the life that you want. What you need will magically appear, and successful beginnings. So again, with that new moon solar eclipse we had that last week, you know, again, that eclipse energy is going to last for a few weeks, not just until the next new moon, but an eclipse energy is going to last longer, potentially until the next set of eclipses come in, which I believe is in July. So there's going to be an unfolding of new beginnings here. They're going to be positive, they're going to be successful. Now again, the magician can be a trickster. The magician deals with illusions, right? Which is kind of what we were talking about with Jupiter squaring Neptune at the end of the week and throughout 2019, is sometimes, you know, dealing with the illusion of what we see with our physical eyes isn't really the reality on the spiritual level, that we have to wait for things to unfold, we have to trust, we have to have faith. So it is sort of with the magician. The magician, we can create a very positive, bright, abundant, you know, new reality. He's surrounded by this circle of light. He's holding the colors of the chakras in his hand, meaning that he can, I'm going to use the word manipulate energy, but don't take that in a negative connotation. He's manipulating the energy to create this abundance, to create this sphere of light, to create this hope. And here's a bird, a dove, up in the corner of the card, also having some of the rainbow colors of light there. And so we're able to, again, create our reality through our thoughts, through our belief systems. That's what the magician does. He thinks of something he wants, he intends it, he puts that intention out to the universe, he sprinkles a little bit of magic fairy dust on it, and he makes it happen. Okay, so this is a very positive reading as, you know, we're moving through this first month of the year. So really excited, this being a month of eclipses. And although, again, there can be some fear and anxiety with some of the changes that might be occurring, it seems to be taking us to a positive place. All right, so now your special message card. Depending on your stone of choice, this one was going to fall out of the deck, so this one's going to be for Amazonite people. Playtime. Okay, so right away when I hear playtime, this is about this magician card. This is about manifesting your desired outcome through the power of play, okay? If you're too serious, which a lot of this Capricorn energy sometimes can get bogged down and very serious. I mean, there's a place for the Capricorn energy of, you know, work and focus and moving towards your goals, but don't forget to play. That Sagittarius energy, where Venus is, where Jupiter is, wants to play and have fun and expand and create, and that's what's going to make things happen for you. So here it says, the dolphins know the importance of playing as joy creates miracles and manifestation. So Amazonite people, and it's interesting, you know, we have a lot of dolphins. I know this is the Mermaid and Dolphin deck, but we, you know, definitely I'm drawn to the dolphins in this card. Dolphins are very playful, and the Amazonite to me, you know, really signifies that ocean. It's that ocean energy. It's the color of the ocean. And I feel like you need to call in the dolphin energy. I feel like the dolphin totem, and perhaps you need to look up a little bit more in depth of what the dolphin totem is for you. But I feel like that would be something to call upon in this week and perhaps even in the weeks ahead for you. But make sure you're taking time to have fun and create and play, because that's going to make things happen for you a lot easier and a lot faster. All right, for those of you that chose the fire opal people, just looking for the card for fire opal. Okay, this one's about to fall in the front again. Let yourself receive. This is a strong message. I got this not too long ago. Actually, it fell out of the deck when I was doing a reading not too long ago. So letting yourself receive. And that's kind of the Jupiter-Neptune energy for the year as well, this week and for the year. Because Neptune says to surrender, trust, have faith, open yourself up to the blessings of the universe. Jupiter wants to expand into the Sagittarius blessings that it wants to give us. So here it says, allow others to give you loving care, receive without guilt or apologies. And so some of you might have trouble receiving, whether it's a gift or a compliment or money or support, or whatever it might be. Work on being receptive to these gifts and blessings from the universe. Be open and receptive to the opportunities that the universe is giving you. As I'm saying this, it's interesting because all of a sudden I see the woodpecker in my mind because woodpecker has been coming to me lately. And one of the things about the woodpecker, as far as an animal totem, is that because he knocks on the tree, right? You hear a woodpecker tap, tap, tapping on the tree. If opportunity knocks, don't close the door. Or if opportunity knocks, don't not open the door, right? If somebody's knocking, you're going to open up to that blessing. You're going to open up to that opportunity. So allow yourself to receive these blessings, these opportunities, these gifts, however they want to appear. Now, even the smallest thing, have gratitude for, they're saying. Even the smallest thing. If somebody waves to you on the street and says hello, accept that with gratitude and wave back and say hello. If someone, maybe you're going to find a quarter on the ground, pick that up with gratitude and say, thank you, universe, for this abundance. And that opens the door to more of these opportunities, more of these blessings, and more of this abundance. So make sure that you're in a space of receiving. And then for those of you that chose the ocean jasper. Okay, this one that was going to fall out, that was on the bottom now. Music for manifesting. A lot of this is about manifestation here, people. So music for manifesting. It says to manifest rapidly, think of your desire while you chant, hum, sing, or play music. Now this might sound silly to some people, but I have to say that as you play some sort of meditative spiritual music, maybe it's harps, maybe it's Native American flutes, maybe it's drumming, maybe it's the crystal bowl music, that actually helps because it raises your vibration. It raises the vibration within you and around you and makes that vibration that's around you more magnetizing to opportunities, blessings, and abundance. Now, if you start to hum or chant or sing to the music, that even raises it up another notch because now you're involving your own throat chakra energy. The throat chakra energy is going to really magically pull things to you. Now again, we go back to the magician here. A lot of times in times of old, the magician spoke some sort of chant or incantation or, some sort of spell, so to speak. And again, not a scary thing. We're talking about affirmations here. We're talking about positive affirmations and intentions being stated, being sent out to the universe. Maybe they're written down, but they're also spoken because the power of your voice is going to really start to make things happen. But again, that, make sure that you're utilizing music throughout your day as much as you can to kind of raise your vibration. All right, I hope you've liked this weekly angel card reading. All the messages very positive, and I can't wait to see what the rest of January holds for us. Sending you all lots of love and light and many, many angel blessings.